Out.
I don't think it's crazy.
It's not 24. 130 minutes. Because we come at 10 or 2. And I think we can be there by 2:30 at the latest, right?
You're already something in there. I'm worried about next week. I'm worried about December 24th.
3:30.
It works on this one, I know.
Yeah, you have to make sure you take the right route. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry. Okay, we're in the midst of discussing that there's a Kedusha Shvius for three categories. The three categories are Machel Odom, Machel Behema, and Seveya. And even though it's not what you call normal human consumption, for example, Machel Odom, we already explained yesterday, the Alei Haluf HaShoita, we say at the end of the day, since it is eaten, and it's not what you call abnormal, maybe it's a b'di'evit type of food, but still, it's considered Kedusha Shvius. Now we go into other types of circumstances. So the next one is Alei Hadandana. What is Alei Hadandana? So he says over here in the Siyata D'Shmaya, which is a very good pirish also, as I mentioned previously, it's a type of mint. They call it Naneya.
Nana.
Or Nana. What?
Nana.
Nana?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't hear you. It's a type of mint. Let's see how he explains it. Even though you would only eat this as an emergency situation, meaning with difficulty, it's a chiddush, and we say it has kedushas kviyos. Okay, so he has interesting ha'ara on this. Kinira shekach hayi b'zman ha'mishnah. Aber b'zman yesh mekaymish behem nofetz hashimish b'mante kitavim b'tei u'mamtikim kitavim b'tei u'mamtikim u'kudayma. It's used as a sweetener. Since it's used as a sweetener, it's not such a big chiddush that it has kedusha shvius. Because once you say it's used as a condiment, it's like any other condiment. Maybe you don't eat it in bulk. You don't eat it like an apple, but it's still a condiment. It's no different than salt and pepper. Salt is not what you call a produce, but we mean it's no different than pepper. Okay. Lamais, at the end of the day, it's mashma over here. It wasn't used. It was a bit what you would call abnormal to use this for human consumption. Okay. The next one is. That was the Alei Hadandana, which is the leaf of the dandana, the nana, the mint, what we're talking about. The next thing is what we call ha'ulshin. Now, he brings down over here with the ulshin. What exactly? What we know that this is one of the 5 type of species of, as we mentioned yesterday, of mora, right? You have lettuce, and you have ulshin, and ulshin's on a higher madrega. If you look at it, we say we go according to the order. That's why a lot of people choose lettuce before the tamchu, because it's a higher level. It's number 1 on the list. But at the end of the day, horseradish is lower than ulshin. So what is an ulshin? Ulshin It's one of those that you have a din of, it has a din of mora. Now, just as a sidebar, I haven't seen yet what he says. He says over here, V'hine b'mesechta Klayim, which we've learned already, everybody remembers Mesechta Klayim. V'vuy shesh shnei mini ulshin. There are two types of endives. Ulshagino, one is called the garden variety endive, shechashum voichamaisa. They were considered a choice type of food. And then you have a second category of ulshei soda. She'en chashum bein oichamaisa, the chashiva oichel afilu gabe tumas oichel. It doesn't say over here what ulchin we're talking about, but over there it says the ulchin. If it's ulche soda, it grows out in the wild. They're not edible, and technically they're not mekabel tumas oichel. Umevuya b'yisham. The ulchagin of shita yeshalai kedusha shvius. That, like we said yesterday about the situation with the botza, with the type of botzel shaita, that ulchagina we're not talking about over here because that's a simple Simon says that it is mekabel kedusha shvius. Given the chashibi. Over here, what we're talking about is the other variety. The gam ulshi soda yesh la ma kedusha shvius mishum deshnas hashem b'shoyne mishash ne'eshlu. It's not mekabel tumas oichel, but there's a distinct halacha. There's a specialty of the 7th year over the other 6 years of the shvita cycle. The b'shnas hasheva gam ulshei soda chashiva afilu legabe kabos tumas oichel that it's going to be considered it's mekabel tumah. It's a big chiddush that's in the Yerushalmi that there's going to be a difference in ulshei soda if it's mekabel tumah. Pastors, you will learn, ulshei soda, it grows out in the wild, it's not really under human consumption. It's not considered roy lachilas adam. Since it's not roy lachilas adam, it's not mekabel tumah. 7th year, it does have a chashivas to mekabel tumah. Shatam sheb'shnei shnei v'lo chashivu v'nei shimatsuyim l'shalgina. Because when it comes to the other 6 years, you can go out to the store and buy ulchin. So of course somebody's going to get the better variety. So therefore people are going to not have a tendency to eat the wild type of ulchin. You're not supposed to be planting and seeding endives. So you're not going to find it. It's not found. You'll be willing to go ahead and eat the inferior type of ulchin. And gam nishal sod chashiv. And therefore it's going to be mekabel tumas oichel. It's a big chiddush over here that you don't find anywhere. That you have, it all depends if it grows in what year we're talking about. Sometimes it's mekabel tumas oichel, and sometimes it's not mekabel tumas oichel. It depends what year it is in the shmita cycle.
Yeah, it's the same thing with something that's not. Usually you find this, but for some reason this year it's not around.
Right. So let's see how he learns. That's how this Yat Shema he says, and he says Rishonim say that this is the way it works. The Rash and the Rab. Let's see how he explains it, because he brings down with the Rambam as well. Ulchin endives. Yerk ze nimmt Mishnah besochen ben aminim shiyotzim b'midei choy v'smor Pesach. Hu atzemach hakori. Here he says it's called balaz. How does he say it? The Tzeres Yisrael that usually brings down
This is
endive. It's called an endive.
Endive, Yeshem Kirbel,
Huh?
Yeshem Kirbel, or Welsh Slovak.
Here he says over here, Yesh l'tzayin sheyesh diyum bein chokri zmanenu be'inyan hazon hakori kiyoyim b'shem zeh. What we call today endives. She'olav levonim u'mudokim. And he calls it endive belgi. Imhu b'chal ha'endiva ha'amura. We're talking about Belgium endives. But you have to realize Belgian endives is a problem. In Chochem Kabbalah Soyu, years ago, I remember there was people started using, some people, instead of romaine lettuce, they used endives because endives were much easier to check for bugs for morrow. Now you have these Aksherim, whatever. A Belgian endive, I think, if I'm not wrong, is hydroponic. So if it's hydroponic, you would not be able to use it for morrow because you have to be able to make a bari priyadama on it. And if it's hydroponic, you can't make a bari priyadama.
All endives or not?
I didn't say all, I said Belgian.
I mean,
I'm not sure. Now Itaka brings down this concept of Yeshnam Shnei Minim Ulsha. There are two types of endives. Ulsha Shem Garden Yidis in the garden. Ulsha Shem Soichel Melem Soda. Bishar Shana. Ein Ulsha Asod Nechshav Moichel. During the other years, he says the same concept. It's not called Oichel, but Enim Mekabim Tumas Oichel. Hoyel Umitzuyim Ulsha Gina Chashum Yoiso. Since you find it throughout the better, the higher quality endive, only talk about the wild endives. Because when you talk about the cultivated one, those that grow in the gardens, it is a prohibition to seed. It's the same with the world where you're talking about the wild ones. It's considered oichel, and also gam the Indian tumas oichel nefshem oichel b'shvius over rakim mitzuyim, since you find them only. Now, this is a little bit difficult to understand because if you recall yesterday when we spoke about the luf hasodim, the luf hashoitim, the onion that is the wild, the shoitim, the unusual, I don't know how you would say it. We said that there's going to be a distinction on the din of kedusha shvius and the din of tumas oichel. Over here, it seems to say that it goes hand in hand. So we're making a distinction between the luf and the ulchin. Why over there do we say that once you say it has kedusha shvius as a tumas oichlin, and over there we said no, it doesn't have a tumas oichlin, but there's a din of kedusha shvius. We split the baby in half. Why do we do that? What's the difference? So he says now the Barav Mavuyashim in a Omish Nisena Shiesh the Ulti Soy Kedusha Shvius Yesh Luma Chehem Nechshavim Oichel Tumas Oichel. It's considered like Oichel. It goes hand in hand, like we mentioned. Ulam Le'el Legabe Luf Shoita Anum Moitzin Shekedusha Shvius Entlu Yibedin Oichel Tumas Oichel. We say one has nothing to do with the other. Shari Yesh Luf Kedusha Shvius Lifnei Shir Mitku afal pishen mitamatum soichel ashem tekenu. So why should we make a distinction? Chilik beishnei anyonim ein chedush ma'arich v'toizat shem there must ain't mitam. He doesn't go into it, but it's a little bit of we're basically making a difference between the case of the luf and the case of the ulshin. Why is it so? Off the top of my head, I don't know. Because he's bringing down over here things that are not in the Mishnayos. But this is a Shverkai. Okay, the next item on the list of what's called Machal Adam is the famous Hakreshim. What is the Hakreshim? We already said that it's a leek. When do we have leeks? What, Shana Rabu? What?
No.
No, you caught them in Shana?
No, the Sephardim hit each other with leeks.
With leeks? They hit each other with leeks?
Yeah, right? On Pesach?
On Pesach? It could be. I don't have that many.
Don't they? They like
Yeah. Okay, that's news to me. Okay.
we did Rosh Hashanah leeks.
Right. We do it because it's one of
And they thought they think it's a big thing.
Yeah. So why do we do it? We eat leeks because it's one of the Simonim Milsihi Legabe Rosh Hashanah at night. And we make it, we say Yehirotzoin Sheyichresu Sainenu. That our enemies should be cut off. So he says, Vakreshu Nikru Gamken Kasi Voloshin Torah Nikru Chatzir. Kivitarginim Ba'aloischa. Vesa Chatzir. And Rashi brings down over the Vikasi. So you have it even in the Torah. You have it when you talk about the manna. The way it describes is like a leek. V'kosvu harishoyin degam b'kreishim yeshneim minikreishim. We've always been talking about these two types of levels of quality of these type of produce. So also by leeks, there's two types of leeks. Kimavuyi b'mesech deklayim kreishim v'kashi soda. V'kashi Kreishim, V'kashi Soda, V'kashi Gina Chashiva, V'kashi Soda Le Chashiva. Again, with the leeks as well, there's what you call the garden variety leek, and there's what's called the wild leek. Kamashmon Kanda B'Shvius, Gam Kashi Soda Chashvius. Chashivi. Just like by Ulshin, it has the same type of way of doing the Ulshin. So how does he explain? He goes very simple. Simon says on this, the beer. He says, Krishin, Gabi Krishin Yeshnei Mina, Kashikina, V'kashi Soda. There's the garden variety leek and there's the wild leek. Mishnah saying we do V'kashi Soda. And our Mishnah that tells you this, a chiddush that it's considered good enough for human consumption, is the wild leek. It's considered like an oichel, like we mentioned before. The next thing is the regila. What's called the regila. So the Pirush Rav Haigon says that's what we call chaglulos. How does he say it in First Yisrael?
That's the crow.
Huh?
Some type of crow.
Some type of cabbage?
That's the cause of it. That's the crow.
Okay. He doesn't even say anything on it. That's interesting. Usually he has something on it.
We have over here on the bottom, the Rav says it has a Lashon Ma'al.
1 second.
Ma'al crow.
That's the crow. Who says this?
There's over here, there's an R on the side. I'm not sure what it says. Ma'al crow.
Where's the horror? I don't see it.
In the Rav.
In the
In
Rav?
the Rav, it's not. There's an R on the Rav. I don't know who this is.
Olshin? Regila? Huh? Christian?
Tosis Yomtiv.
Tosis Yomtiv?
I am Tosis Yomtiv. Oh.
Kosa Rav Haim Chagaruz, Laimash Ksafim, Uksin. We have at the bottom over here.
It says, I am Tosis Yomtiv. It says Uksin.
Uh-huh. Okay. Which one is it? On the bottom over there? Below the Tais Yontif?
No, right under the Rav. Right under the Rav, there's a Dalit.
Yeah, Dalit. Marble croit. Like marble cake. Ein Tais Yontif. Mishnah Gimel, Perek Gimel, the Uks. It's a type of wild growth. Yeah. The next thing is B'neitz hacholov. The white type of flower. That's how they explain it. Min perchlov and min esiv kishe mechat chayotz menu cholov. He says over here in the Siyata D'Shmaya that it has a white type of, also the Rashma Aruch says it. So this is the sixth type. This is the last of the 6 species that, even though under normal circumstances you would not eat it, but we consider it having a kedusha shvius. And not only does it have a kedusha shvius, but once you say that it has a kedusha shvius, it also has a chiyuv of beer of shvius. So he says, "Humin perchlov and kamoy cholov." It's white and it looks like milk. It comes out of it a type of white, type of liquid like milk.
Yeah.
Now, these 6 are abnormal. And the Rash explains, all these type of species, most individuals will not make this into seed them to grow in their garden. And they grow out in the wild. Very important. Because we know there's a pasuk in the Torah, right, Reb Shapsi? Right?
Yeah.
That's going on what? What?
And those are the growths from the ground. Yeah.
From the ground, even if it's a wild growth, right?
That's wild growth. Yeah.
So we're talking over here all about a wild growth. And we're coming now and saying that these type of wild growths are A-okay to eat during Shvius. It has a Kedusha Shvius, but you can eat it. What's going on over here? Why should it have this halacha that you can eat it? It says, saying over here,
You can't gather it, you can eat it.
No, but we also have tzvichim.
Tzvichim, right. Also al tzvichim. Even though it's a gezeres chachomim, maybe it is not to eat it at all. It means over there, it means for commercial purposes. But how come normally we say, according to the Rabbanon, we stay away from it? So he says, therefore, over here we say, so he says, only these type that are not in the norm to use. Because since it's not usually gathered, we don't have any problem of you gathering it. Comes out a big chiddush over here. That the issa over here, since it's something that's not used, you can go ahead and collect it, no problem. Even though there's an issa of svichim normally. What's the famous case of issa svichim? I'll give you a hint. It has to do with Yom Tif, or Yom Tif. Which Yom Tif? Oh, right on target. Kitzir Sa'ima. So there's a whole question over there because it's Maybe als Esther Doichaloisa say, right? You know the sugya? So, over here we're saying not like that. That over here there was no Gzeres Chacham whatsoever. Okay, so these till now, we are talking about things that are of human consumption. Mishnah will continue in Met Shem tomorrow about items that we're gonna, that even though normally you wouldn't have it, but it's something that that you'll use for fodder for animal consumption only under dire circumstances, and still it has a kedusha of shvius. We'll stop over here. We'll continue and mention tomorrow. Nani ben Akashram was Gol Zak Yisrael Lefik Chibul and Torah Mitzvahs Shenema Adonai Chofetz L'man Tzidkoi Yagdu Torah V'Yadir.